Thank you. It's such an honor to be here with all of you, and it's my sincere pleasure to be part of this very special event. I am, as Jeff conveyed, the editorial director for the YGS Group and also for Club Management Magazine. Also with me here from the YGS team in support of your magazine, Tima Good, who is the media sales account representative, as well as Pat Curry, senior editor on the magazine. The YGS Group is so proud to serve as publishing partner to Club Managers Association of America and to have the opportunity to produce Club Management Magazine. Through nearly 6 years of working with the CMAA, we have had the fortunate and enjoyable opportunity to know your industry and your membership and immerse ourselves in the subject areas that are important and relevant to you. By the obvious nature of your industry and the professionals who excel in it, there is a common trait that exists across the board: hospitable. This trait carries over into the spirit of professionalism and generosity that we see so clearly in the pages of the magazine. And as we talk to the members of the CMAA and ask them to share their best practices, their best tips, and even most importantly, their insight, the attributes that make them good at their role also make them genuinely gracious individuals with a passion for what they do each day. Your roles in your industry are about people, building relationships and caring, and an extraordinary level of attention to detail and unfailing service to the members of your club. With each year of our involvement, we learn more about the exceptional professionals who make up the CMAA membership, who work in the space of the industry every day. And the challenge arises once again to select a club executive of the year out of so many exceptional individuals. Exceptional individuals and outstanding professionals who make a difference in people's lives and who set the standard of caring and professionalism for their staffs and their emerging leaders who will next become club managers. Before we announce the nominee for 2015, I would like to briefly recognize our previous club executives of the year. Richard Colasa, CCM from 1995. Robert C. James, CCM, CCE, CHE from 1996. John R. Sullivan Jr., CCM from 2000. Richard H. Bayless Jr., CCM, CCE from 2001. George P. Carroll, CCM, CCE from 2006. Michael McCarthy from 2009. Damon J. DiOrio, CCM, CCE from 2010. Michael J. Limes from CCM, CCE, PGA from 2011. And CJ, Joe Bendy Jr., CCM, CCE from 2014. There is an example set by club managers which defines the culture and the personality of the club's environment and activities, and it's felt by the members and the staff alike. The culture of the Beach Club in Santa Monica, California is very evidently an extension and personality of this year's honoree, and it resonates through the comments from staff members, club members, and fellow CMAA members. Gregg Patterson came to the Beach Club as general manager more than 3 decades ago, with the idea that he would run, in his words, a funky little beach club on the beach, a funky little club on the beach for a while and use it as foundation for his next career step. But what happened is that he fell in love with the Beach Club and the community that exists there and has turned it into the platinum club that it is today. His presence can be particularly felt in what he describes as the poetry of the human condition, in Gregg's words, the relationships and the community, with the poet being the one who truly understands the power of life's moments. Machinery too plays its role, he explains, in the success of a well-run club, and this part is another area where Gregg has excelled. The Beach Club's food and beverage operation is recognized regularly as one of the finest dining experiences in Los Angeles. Paired with a fiscally sound position and the lowest dues among immediate club competitors, the machinery appears to be well-oiled and running impeccably under Gregg's watch. His contributions to people's lives in the industry go well beyond the Beach Club. Gregg is a seasoned and accomplished speaker, educator, mentor, and writer, having begun his foray into public speaking in 1994 at the World Conference in Hawaii. He has written more than 1,000 pages of white papers and articles which he shares freely with anyone who inquires. Henry DeLozier, partner with Global Golf Advisors, the sponsor of Club Executive of the Year Award, describes Gregg as someone who inspires club managers to view their careers differently and with greater purpose. And this guidance, which he so freely offers, is clearly a principle that Gregg has followed in his own career journey. I'd like to take a moment to thank Global Golf Advisors for once again sponsoring the Club Executive of the Year Award. For nearly 25 years, Global Golf Advisors has advised the world's most respected clubs. They recognize industry leaders in each issue of club management through Profiles in Excellence feature. Their sponsorship of this award is further demonstration of their commitment to fostering exceptional performance in the club industry. Please join me in thanking Global Golf Advisors for their support of this award. And here to say a few words, please help me welcome one of Global Golf Advisors' partner and our friend, Henry DeLozier.
Thank you, Annette. On behalf of Global Golf Advisors, it is my privilege to introduce you to Stephen Johnson, our founder. There are a number of people in the room who are Global Golf people. Can you all raise your hands? We're really proud of this bunch. So too are we proud to be a part of this annual award. When I was contacted and informed that Gregg would be the recipient, I was truly at a loss for words. I thought, what in the world could I possibly say about Gregg? So I gave it a lot of thought and I came up with quiet, humble, unassuming, inaccessible. And then I remembered my friend Gregg Patterson and all of our friends, Gregg Patterson. Thank you very much.
Global Golf Advisors and Club Management would like to encourage you to be thinking now about the 2016 Club Executive of the Year Award. Without you and your nominations, this award wouldn't be possible, so we thank you in advance for the important role that you all play in presenting the slate of nominees. And now, ladies and gentlemen, without further delay, please welcome the poet himself, your 2015 Club Executive of the Year, Gregg Patterson.
First of all, nobody mentioned that I was supposed to speak to you. So in looking at Henry, I said I'll keep it to 1 hour and 30 minutes, if you don't mind. But when I look around the room and when I come in and out like this, I discover how blessed I am. Many of you were at the opening session yesterday. We had a fabulous speaker. He was talking about happiness. And one of the things that he says, we should look at our past and say how grateful we are for the things that preceded us and got us to where we are today. And as I think of the foundation of my life, if you will, and the industry, I think of, first of all, the community of club managers. This is what I call my tribe. I'm in a business that is about building relationships and community. And when I come to national conferences, anybody knows who met me, it's like a drug for me. I mean, it's the energy, the excitement that I feel here. Everybody I talk to, I've had a relationship with in some way, either directly or indirectly, for over 30-something years, and it's very special. And I'd like to say, and I was saying this at my farewell weekend at the Beach Club, that we all are fortunate if we have lives that are built on what I call a mountain of love. And I don't mean to be overly serious right now, but we are all fortunate if we have that, and you can be glowing if you do. The speaker yesterday reminded me of those very things. He was profound, and he talks about how powerful relationships and purpose are in your life. Well, I'll give you both in mind then. First of all, purpose. What is my purpose in life? I mean, each of you should be asking, what is your why in life? It's just very straightforward. Anybody who's talked to me at any length of time would say they know what my why is. My why is simple: to create relationships which, through great conversation, enlarge my life. And we just had the Chautauqua this week. We have 47 people on the ride. Each conversation I had enlarged my life. When I look at the club business, people say, why have you been in the club business all these years? You could have been in oil like my wife or whatever it might be. And I said, there's no better business if your why is about relationships. There's no better business than this in order to have that. and to have those conversations. I look at Steve over here. I didn't know he founded Global Golf Advisors. I should have shown you more respect than I did, Steve. We were having dinner, remember, up there at Brabant outside of Montreal. And I said, God, this is one clever human being here. How blessed I am. After I think it was the 4th or 5th bottle of wine we shared. It was not high alcohol wine. And I said, how blessed I am. When I went to the club each of those days for those almost 34 years, I said how blessed I am to have relationships here with people who you just bump into them in the hallway and they enlarge your life. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? I mean, it's powerful. And the message that I got yesterday was that very thing. And what is the purpose? The purpose is to help. This is my purpose, if I will, and with each of the club members that I've had, with the Chautauquans, dinner last night with Deanna and Chris. I hope through the conversation that I have, through the preaching and teaching I do, the hallway conversations and the coffee and the beer, that in some way something I said makes that person's life just a little bit bigger. In some way. That I'm this parabolizer, that you tell me the story, let's go for the principles, let's make your life larger. So people have said, why have you stayed at the Beach Club? And I truly say, it's even now, it's a funky little club on the west coast of California, but it's my world. And I'd like to say, if you look closely at your world, if you see the profound in the ordinary, if you see the universe in a grain of sand, you too will have a filled life. It has nothing to do with where you've gone or what you've done or the rewards you've been given or whatever it might be. The greatest blessing we can give anybody is to help them see their world in a larger way than they currently do. So the other thing is relationships. So that was my purpose. So when I deal with CMAA, and I thank you, everybody in CMAA who's given me the opportunity to speak, like today and yesterday, it's my drug. Each of those moments enlarges my life in a way I can't explain, and I get very emotional about this. So that's the purpose side of my life. I'm just taking off what he said yesterday. I hope that you recorded this, Jeff, because this stuff was good that guy said yesterday.
Yes, sir.
Right. It was good. But the other side is the relationships. And this is the mountain of love I'm talking about. And hopefully we had it. When I was at the Beach Club, I was going through, and I call it the love journey. And we laugh about it, but it wasn't a laugh. You know, my foundation at the Beach Club was a deep affection for the staff. Right, each of these people I run into each day, we give the knuckles, we call it the potatoes and the French fries. And you go by and you touch somebody each day with that. And you look at them and you care deeply about them. And you like to believe maybe they care a little bit about you. You know, and then you have those people, the members that you run into. And I've married, as a Reverend Gregg, not married, I officiated at 61 weddings. And I've buried 21 people. I've let the ashes on my airplane too, which that's another issue. Completely illegal, so I can't tell you about that. But the fact of the matter is, when you show a photograph, what is the photograph, the memory photograph you have of this intimacy? Those are it. You show a photograph of, like my payment for doing a wedding service, is that you must give me a photograph, 5x7 frame, taken within 5 minutes of the end of the service, because I say you'll never smile that way again. Yeah. But I have all these photographs, and if you look at them, and you look at those photographs, and you see the joy in each of their faces, I know what love is. Do you? What photograph would you show? Then we have, the next level. You have people, kids that I've oriented, new members, 10-year-olds. For 4 hours, I'll take a new member and sitting there with 2 people. I didn't even know them for the year and a half it took me to go through the membership process. I knew nothing about them. They come in, and you have to go from 0 to 100 miles an hour like that. 4 hours later, we're giving each other the hug and the love, and I tell them, you'll never be alone again. And in this life, we all know loneliness is the biggest tragedy in anybody's life. Then we go up to the next level. We have people like my assistant manager, Andrea Kurthwaite. Gets me emotional. This gal is great. But she has been my mentor. She might say, oh, Gregg has been my mentor. Wrong. When I need advice and insight in the club, I've gone to Andrea. Profound journey. I hope each of you have that sort of. Now I have hundreds of mentors, we understand that, to give you advice and insight. But I had Andrea. And then the most important thing, on the top of the pyramid, and the only thing that you live for in the bottom line, and I go back to this discussion yesterday, is the person at the very top of that pyramid. The person that makes your life complete. And that is my wife, Elaine, right back there. She deserves the hand. All I like to say, everybody's heard me, I've said this for years. Fame is a vapor, popularity is an accident, and money takes wings. The only thing that endures is character, which is the sum total of your actions in this life. You will not be remembered for the stuff, the Mercedes you have, the size of the club you run, the millions of dollars that you put in the golf course. It is the poetry you'll be thanked for the machinery. Oh, thank you. Steve and I were talking about this, and we're talking about clubs that don't have their finances right. But there's a guy that understands that the reason the machinery works is because somebody at the top of the organization understands that poetry underpins everything we do in this life. And that's why when I say, I'm really not very good at the machinery, I'll be honest with you. Any high school kid can beat me at that. Yeah, do we make millions and do all that? Sure. Nobody, when they go to their grave, is going to remember that. Ask yourself this, in the millisecond before you die, what will you be thinking of? I want to be able to look at my wife right over there and say, I never died alone. And I hope each of you has that same thing. So when I look at this journey that we're on and this award, and I have to say that I diminish it in a sense because all the managers I know deserve this award. Do you understand? The world that they deal in requires that they have a deep understanding of the business and the poetry in order to do what they do, and to do it effectively and well, over dozens of years in different operations. This award is really being shared by everybody who's here at conference. The fact of the matter is we all draw strength from each of them, each of whom are bricks in this journey, this foundation that we've created. And I always like to say that, I'm, quote, retiring now. I like to say I'm busier than ever, Henry, sorry. But the fact of the matter is, as Dylan said, you've all heard that guy, that famous philosopher, Bob Dylan, may you have a strong foundation when the winds of change shift. Well, the winds of change have shifted in my life. I've moved from full-time operations to a full-time reflector. And I want to use the next 20 years of my life, because I'll be food for the worms at that point, right? I'll be gone. I want to enlarge my life journey, and in any way that I can, every manager I touch, I would like to make their life just a little bit bigger. And if I do that, I will go to my grave with my wife's hand in mine, and I said, it's been a good journey. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you. That's all I can say, but you should thank every manager you see during the time you're here at conference. Thank you very much.